Hello. So I've got another art folder to rummage through. It's slightly older than the last one we looked at. I do have several more that go back to a few years, so feel free to leave a message in the comments if you'd like to see some more. Let's get stuck in. Oh, this is a selection of stuff I did as a Skillshare class. You got this, nice and jolly. Some pattern stuff I did with masking tape and some glitter, metallic paints. Some practicing with patterns. Did that in a couple of different colours. This one I did with some supplies from a sketch and story box, which you can't get anymore, but it was a lovely watercolour and lettering based box. These were two handmade watercolour paints that came in one of the boxes. Hide that one. That's an egg, but it's got a little bit of a rude note to the side of it, so leave that to one side. Oh. It's pumpkin. It's done with neon paint, but you can't see how neon it is on the camera. It's really vibrant in real life. Here's a few things I did when I got some googly eyes. That was quite awful, but I tried to draw a frog and it didn't go quite right, but he's quite jolly anyway. Little slime. Oh, big-eyed giraffe. Spider, snail, and little monster. I think the slime's my favourite. Oh, one's gone rogue. Get another little cat. Some more small paintings. Really like how that one turned out, even though it's quite simple. I like the variation in colours in each of the different squares. This was a little relaxing Skillshare class, doing doodle nets and painting with them. There's quite a few of these. Metallic silver pen on there. And that one. This one's just got a few accent dots on it in the metallic pen. Here's some paintings I did with my niece and nephew one day. Just some simple little things I did while they were painting. Woo! Getting ready for Halloween. Little strawberry. Yum yum yum. Jolly little penguin and pear. Oh, last but not least, gotta love a fried egg. And this is a whole series of things I did on some cardi paper, which I really like. It's holds the water really well. It's lovely to paint on. So, got some of these dragon scale type patterns, some cactuses, some patterns. Oh, you can't see that. That's a oh, you can kind of see it on the camera. It's a metallic pink background behind that kiwi. Some crystals, very magical. I was quite pleased with this one. Lavender and a little bumblebee. Always a fun thing to paint. It's just a slice of melon. It's the same paints from the Sketch and Story box. Green and yellow. And I've used some salt to get these effects around the edges. And some more net patterns. Nice rainbow coloured one. And back in their plastic wrapper. Wasn't too pleased with this one, but the gradient's a bit too solid at the bottom. There's a sort of quite a harsh line going across here, which I didn't like, but it was fun. It was good practice for another time. Oh, this was a Skillshare class, I think by Bianca Reala, but anywhere I've got any inspiration or done classes from, I'll put some links in the description. This was a really lovely class with like spraying water on the page and moving the paint around. So I was quite pleased with this one. Oh, that was with some acrylic ink. Just messing about. It's from a scrawler box, I think. An attempt at some sort of seascape. It's not my forte, but look at this paint in the background. It's one of the Schminker super granulating ones, so you get all these colours coming out of one tube of paint. It's quite magical. Haha, I was pleased with this. This was done for a scrawler box challenge, and the prompt was walk on the wild side. So I've actually been using some coloured pencils here instead of watercolour for a change. So some doodles. I was inspired by somebody on Instagram. I will look it up and make sure I put a link in the description. But there's all sorts of things going on in here. This was just fine liner and coloured pencil. Here's a bigger version of the lavender and bumblebee. Sorry, got a bit of an unattractive view of my desk, but I need to get the whole picture in. So there's that one. Oh, this was all part of that same Skillshare class by Bianca Reala with the moving the water around on the page. Some of them I was more happy with than others. This was a scrawler box challenge again. I didn't get on with the supplies too well in this box, and I can't remember what the prompt was, but it was some neon paint markers. So I just did some patterns. This was some practice doing some flowers. Got some foxglove and an allium. I was quite pleased with the allium, not too thrilled with the foxglove. Need to be a bit more vibrant. There's some ranunculus. Again, I could use maybe another layer of paint, bring the vibrancy up a bit more, but quite happy with that nonetheless. And here's hyacinth, which this one went horribly wrong. I'm quite pleased with this one. That's another ranuncular if they came in blue. Was a another ship that I did. Got a bit of metallic, I think silver foil on this moon. And I don't know what this weird watermark is here, but this could have gone a bit better, I think. Oh, this was a really fun Skillshare class. So very much follow along, not a lot of originality, but it was definitely a lot of fun to do. Some doodles. I'm pleased with that one. That was from a little Skillshare class. Painted with watercolour first, then went over with the dark fine liner. It's almost like negative painting, filling in the spaces around stuff rather than drawing the things themselves. That was, oh, you can see the metallic on that if I move it a bit. Some doodles. This was a class I did on painting gradients, and then I used the gradients to create some things with afterwards. So I doodled on this one with a white pen. That's just a 2-colour gradient. That one I did a little bee and a daisy, and did a monstera leaf on this one. Oh. Some very sparse dandelions on some different colour paint with some paint markers. Got a bit of copper on there, and one in purple with silver. Here's another monstera leaf. This was something I did with supplies from a Sketch and Story box. Again, I'm really sad that that box is over, but it's probably a good thing for my bank balance. This was the prompt that came with it, Heart of the Jungle. So I've done 2 of these because I was enjoying painting them. Oh, this was a really fun class. It was making like Polaroid pictures, watercolour painting. So I've got this one. I like this one the best, I think, the little cactuses. Some dunes. And here's Dubai. You can tell, I think this is the tallest building in the world, last time I checked. Burj Khalifa, I think. I'm going to have got that wrong now, but should be a recognisable skyline anyway. Little egg. Don't do it, stay inside. Oh, I think this was something I did with a friend. So I did the watercolour paint and they doodled on top of it. A bit of a collaborative effort there. It was a lot of fun, I definitely recommend it. Someone does the watercolour shapes to start with, and then you swap round and doodle on top of each other's art. Some more patterns. I don't know if this would class as like neurographic art, but these were really relaxing to do. Another scrawler challenge. Can't remember what the prompt was. We had these small sheets of paper and some paint markers, and that's what I ended up doing. I don't think I get on very well with paint markers as a standalone medium. Oh, here's a nicer bumblebee. You can have the fluff and these googly eyes. This is actually a piece I did for a single cover for Kyle Boswell. You can find his music on Spotify. This song was called Hourglass. I think it's also available in a couple of branches of HMV in the UK. But that's my galaxy filled hourglass. I think this was just me having a bit of fun painting some flowers. It's not the most refined piece ever, but it was, as always, lots of fun to do. It's jolly little flamingo, bit off center, could have used being shifted this way a little bit, but see it, maybe a little bit metallic on the pink. Oh, this was some oil pastels we got in a scrawler box. They're also not my forte, but they were lovely oil pastels, really nice, but I'm not very good at using them. So, and this was some markers that we got in a scrawler box. They were really nice to use as watercolour, a bit harsh when you use them directly on the page, but they were really nice. Oh, that's a cup of coffee. What a waste. This was really fun to do. Got a straw and like blew the paint around on the page, trying to create this spillage and adding the cup in. I think I've got a smaller one of these somewhere as well. We'll see, we'll see. Oh, these were really fun. This was something inspired by a Skillshare class. All these fitting these shapes together on a page and then doodling over the top of them. So I've done one with pastel watercolours, one with sort of blues and browns and a bit of gold on there, and I did a neon one as well. This was another sketch and story box. We got a little set of paint with, oh, you can maybe see on this one. There we go. There's some metallic and some sort of neutral terracotta-y colours and a green. But that's what I did with a couple of feathers, a flower, and you got this. Oh. I think my boyfriend painted this one. What a lovely little Pop-Tart. I'm going to keep him actually. He's a jolly little fella, isn't he? Even though he's about to be eaten. Oh, there we go. There's the smaller coffee cup. I think I prefer the smaller one, maybe. Maybe it's the shape of the cup or the way the spill turned out, but I think I prefer this one. Oh, this was a Skillshare class. Really enjoyed doing this one. It was a lot of fun. Challenged me a little bit, which is always a good thing. It was a good experience creating this sort of light source in the middle and creating a bit of depth around the outsides. So I was pleased with that one. This was another sort of pouring water on the page, spraying the page with water and moving all the water around. A really loose sort of ethereal effect. So I also used the Schminke super granulating paints to create even more texture. So that's a lovely thing to do. Oh, and a questionable attempt at another Skillshare class painting a hummingbird. Really enjoyed this, but I wasn't overly pleased with how it turned out. And here's some more doodles. Gold on pinks and purples. It was a gold Posca marker. It's a bit dull. I prefer the Spectrum Noir oil-based metallic markers, but I don't have a fine one of them in gold yet. Yet being the key word. So there we have it. There's the end of art folder number 2. Hope you've enjoyed looking through that with me, and let me know if you want to see any more. Thanks for watching.